Welcome back to Talk Horror with me, the only horror movie review podcast that their hosts know better than vacation on the off season. That being said, let's see what we're looking at tonight. Tonight we review The Shining. The Shining is a 1980s psychological horror film produced and directed by Stanley Kubrick and co-written with novelist Diane Johnson. It is based on Stephen King's 1977 novel of the same name and stars Jack Nicholson, Danny Lloyd, Shelley, Duvall, and Scatman Crothers. In The Shining, Jack Torrance becomes winter caretaker at the isolated Overlook Hotel in Colorado, hoping to cure his writer's block. He settles in along with his wife Wendy and his son Danny, who is plagued by psychic premonitions. As Jack's writing goes nowhere and Danny's visions become more disturbing, Jack discovers the hotel's dark secrets and begins to unravel into a homicidal maniac hell-bent on terrorizing his family. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Carly.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, who picked this movie?
Me.
Yes.
And I picked it because I wanted Carly to see it.
Well, you're very kind.
And I appreciate it because I tell you what, I don't know why I waited so long.
Yeah,
you only have 44 years. I don't know what you're waiting on.
I know.
So should we start with Carly's assessment of this film, Brooke?
Yeah, I want to. She makes
it. Okay. I had a lot of fun watching it. I caught a lot of things that I'd seen, like memes and pop culture references, and I caught a lot of that, and I was like, "Oh, that's where that came from." That's where that came from. And the guy Jack was a real dick. He just was a real dick, even before he became a homicidal maniac. And going back to like 1980, without having the memes, without having the spoilers, without having any of that, I can see where it would be a really frightening film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I loved the score. Oh my God. It really built up the tension. I loved it. I had a lot of fun watching it, and parts of me was going, oh my God. And, me and my babe.
I agree. Actually, one of the things I really keyed into, I just let everybody know I've seen this movie 100 times, but I also watched it today with like 5 minutes to spare before we came on air, just because last second I decided. The score, yes, it's drawn out strings, it's string plucking, staccato piano. It's just all by itself. It's super creepy. And it's reminiscent to like the earlier films that used a lot of string work to really set a really unsettling mode. So yeah, absolutely agree with that. Yes, Jack is an asshole. I've always said so. I always thought that he looks crazy, even from the interview. Because unfortunately, Jack Nicholson has got those eyebrows, so he kind of got this weird maniacal look to him, no matter what.
Hey, don't be judging him based on his eyebrows.
I'm just saying, he's just got that weird, like high arch brow, and I'm just like, he just looks like he's a crazy person from day one. And I'm like, well, okay, I can see that. But it's almost like, okay, you're kind of crazy already. Like Carly said, he's an asshole already. So he's kind of susceptible to what the Overlook's got in store for him. On the reviewing, again, I've seen the miniseries. I've read the book a bunch of times. Yes, there's also, Carly, there's a miniseries that's a lot closer to the book than this one is. But if you take that all away and you focus on this film by itself is a masterpiece. I know that Stephen King did not like the way Stanley Kubrick was creating and rewriting and re-envisioning his book. There was very, a lot of tension between the two of them in terms of the final product. Stephen King is really hands-off. It's like, okay, I'm giving you the rights to the movie, so you do you. But I think by itself, it's very, very eerie, creepy, isolating, just stressful. So in that way, I think Stanley Kubrick, in the writing and the directing and the producing of this film, did an amazing job. The cinematography is fantastic.
Yes.
I still have a problem with Shelley Duvall. I don't know what it is.
She looks a little too innocent.
I was going to say mousy. Like
Yeah.
she's very
Like in the
subservient
books,
and mousy, and I know
more-
that's kind of like the vibe, maybe, and she's
Yeah.
going to kind of rise up about that.
Oh, hi, Rebecca.
But yeah, so yeah, other than that casting, which I still think she did an amazing job, and the fact that you're talking about memes, Carly, the last scene that I put up in the movie package of the axe through the door and her screaming with a knife in her hand, so iconic. The two twins, actually they're not twins. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The two sisters dressed the same, also a great meme pull. So I loved it. I got a lot of problems like here and there about like the differentiations, but like as a film on its own, it's amazing. Brooke, what do you think?
I agree with Rebecca. She says she's mousy in general. It's Shelley Duvall. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
In the book, she's not supposed to be like that. She was supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
The way they portrayed her was stronger, more powerful, up to him, like stand up to him. But that one, she was kind of weak and kind of like, you know.
And maybe that journey was a little better for film. Because if she's always strong, that she really doesn't like kind of go up in kind of a heroine's arch or arc for storytelling. But that was really my only problem with it. Even the kid, Danny Lloyd, or whatever his name was, that just this wide-eyed kid with the chubby cheeks and just like.
And finding out that this wasn't just an imaginary friend, that was cool. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah. Now you get to understand what Dr. Sleep was about. Now you can see like how it ties in.
Okay. Yes.
Now I want to go back and watch that movie. Now that I'm fresh, I want to go right back and watch that with Ewan McGregor.
Me too.
So
where it's at.
So Brooke, you said you only chose this film because you want Carly to see it.
Yeah, I wanted her to watch it.
Okay,
like I watched it so many times.
Okay, so so let's go right into it, Brooke. What's like a pro and con of this film? Because obviously you love it enough to say, Carly, you need to see this film. So what's the pro and con about it? Aside from Shelley Duvall.
A pro is that I love Jack Nicholson. I'm a huge fan of his. His acting is phenomenal. I do like the whole point of The Shine, how The Shine comes into play. I don't know if Stephen King does it with most of his books. Like has The Shine.
He has he sprinkles it through a couple different novels. Yeah.
Okay. I like that aspect of it. The con of it, I guess I would say I didn't like it that the guy died, the black guy died. I didn't like that part.
Spoilers. It's been 44 years. If you don't know that Dick Halloran dies, then that's on you.
Yeah.
It was pretty sad. He put like tens of hundreds of hours like to get back to the place, only to get like stabbed in the chest like 2 seconds into being in the building. I agree with you. I think
that he was there to that he was actually going to be the one to rescue them.
Yeah,
in the book that. He is. In the book, he does not die. Okay. So that was kind of like I agree with Brooke. I was like, no, what the no? How did Dick Halloran? Yeah, Brooke. My pro and con is I agree with you about Jack Nicholson. There's a scene, his first scene at the bar with Lloyd, that it's like I didn't realize it was a one take monologue, and he's freaking just dynamic and amazing. What I wanted to say is even better than Jack Nicholson. I think the actor who played Lloyd and the actor that played Grady are like two unsung actors that their performances in this film, like even I think are superior to Jack Nicholson in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah, I think Lloyd, just like the consummate bartender, and Grady, the former caretaker / waiter. I think just like how they deliver is just so perfect, so much perfection. I can't say enough. Like this time, I really dove into watching everybody's performance, and I'm like, damn, it's like they don't get enough juice out of this film for like how much they put in. My con would be, I mean, kind of stole. I already said Shelley Duvall. I already agree with Dick Halloran getting like chopped up in second one. If I have to say a con, it is going to be the departure from the book. But that being said, when they redid it as a miniseries, they kept faithful to the book, and some of it doesn't read. The one thing I missed, which we saw Shelley Duvall do in this film, is that she's the one taking care of the boilers. She's the one checking the thing and doing different things for different parts of the hotel. I'm like, what the hell is Jack doing? Jack's doing nothing, and she's like doing all the work. I'm like, that's bullshit. So I liked it. I don't remember her doing that in the book. Like I don't remember her taking charge of that. I think Jack did that a lot because it was so temperamental. In the book, the boilers are super temperamental, and they really downplayed that in the film. And so that was a little bit of a miss for me. I thought they could have at least enhanced that a little bit. Carly, since you have no reference points for any of the films and the book and other materials, what are your pro and cons?
The pro, really the acting. The acting was superb. I enjoyed diving into these characters, and it wasn't like this is Jack playing a character. It was the character. This is not Danny, playing Danny. It is Danny, and I love that about this film. The con, while I loved the actors, Shelley was much better as Olive Oil.
That was a role made for her. Yeah,
it fit her. But she did do an amazing job. I mean, nobody could get the wide eyes and the big scream like that.
Yes, I agree.
I read that she was really terrified during that part. Like that was not her acting. She was really terrified.
And I also heard that Jack got really gung-ho about that scene. Like he was going at that door with gusto, and that they actually had to reset it because it went through the door too fast. Because it's kind of like a semi-prop door, and he was just like tearing through it. And they like, no, you gotta reel that back in a little bit. So I think Shelley probably was very like, what the fuck's going on? With that being said, because that's like the scene everybody knows about, let's talk about our favorite scene, moment, meme-able. What do we got? So, Brooke, what's your favorite moment in this film?
My favorite moment is when she comes down there with a baseball bat and she's like, and then she reads. Her facial expression kills me, and she's like, going through it, and it's like, what does it say?
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah. And her face is just like, it kills me. Her facial reaction. That was my favorite part.
Which I think, again, like you said, it's amazing, but it makes her feel like she's just this little speck of a woman. That she's so surprised. And I want to say one more thing. My favorite part of this film, although there are many, but I want to like add on to the Shelley Duvall like reaction to what a writer is. That scene where Jack's like, when she's like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you getting your writing done?" And I could totally understand Jack Nicholson or Jack Torrance being like, "Wendy, when I'm at the typewriter and I'm typing away, that means stay the F out." I'm like, yes, that's why I go to Starbucks, because I don't want to deal with distractions and having to get back into my zone. So I thought that was hilarious from a writer perspective. And the fact that when they were driving up, not when Jack was driving up, but when the family was driving up, he was all pissed off that Danny didn't, eat his breakfast. It's like he was already becoming really much a shit. He was a dick from day one. So I'm wondering, and I'd have to go back to the book to read it, but I'm wondering if the Overlook had already kind of got its hooks into him before he even left the interview.
Well, he said it was like he had been there before.
Right. Right. But that was like when he was like, oh, and I went around another corner. And I thought, like, oh, I knew what was going to happen. I'm just wondering if they really kind of started whispering in his ear even before he left. the first time. So what about you, Carly?
My favorite part, I love all the parts that you guys mentioned. I really do. It was when God help me, I can't remember his name, the cook, was sitting down with Danny talking about The Shining.
Yeah.
It just, I was like, oh, I don't have to wonder what the title's about. This is great.
You say you don't have to wonder, like it is a real weird title until it's explained.
It's explained.
Yeah.
And I like the explanation. I like the name for it.
The Shine.
Although I'm like, now it's really associated with
I just hear Psycho whenever I hear it.
Oh, sorry, that. Yeah, that is Psycho. Well, I just here's Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
man.
Yes.
I tell you what. I mean, we could go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I wanted to talk about the blood, where the blood came coming down. From
coming out of the elevator?
That was a lot.
It was a lot? Or a lot of blood, or a lot to take in as a viewer?
Both. Like, my first time watching that when I was younger, I was like, what is that? Why is that coming there?
What's the point of this blood in an elevator? I don't know. It's funny you said that. When I saw this film when I was younger and I was on network television, the scene that scared the crap out of me was the cobweb-filled ballroom with all the skeletons dressed in dresses and tuxedos. For some reason, that was the most terrifying thing for me as a young person, like a teen, preteen. Because again, 1980, I think I saw it when it came. It was probably on the world television premiere, like 1984 on ABC or something. And I remember being like really afraid of that moment for some reason. I think it was just skeletons.
How old was y'all in 1984?
I was young. Leave me alone. I think I was maybe 13.
I was 12, turning 13.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
I don't know. It was just creepy, and I don't know why. It was one of those things where I didn't expect to see it because it was going to be on television. There was just a normal thing. So I don't know. These skeletons really bothered me for some reason. I don't know why, but it always stuck with me.
I love how at the end, he's in that picture.
Yes.
I love that.
76.
1921.
Yeah, it was 19.
And that matches the people in the ballroom.
Yeah, all the
It
flappers.
does?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. It's funny. They close. It's so funny because it's so fresh in my mind. They close in on it, right? And two things I noticed besides Jack in the front center. One, the woman next to him has got her eyes closed. She's like a typical. I'm taking a picture of 100 people. There's going to be somebody like looking away, doing something. And the fact that there's a guy behind him because Jack's waving, right? Jack's got his hand up. And there's a guy behind him almost looking like he's trying to pull his hand down in a picture. I had a whole new appreciation for like, what was the deal? What was going on? Why did they set up the picture where the one girl's looking away and the other guy's trying to pull his hand down, like to not wave during the photo being taken? Very interesting. I was like, I wonder what the story is all about that photo specifically.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. That's just me. But don't worry about me. What we need to do is we need to rate this film. So, Brooke, who's going first?
I'll let you go first.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. And you know why? Because I saw something in this viewing that I'd never seen before. And I was like, oh, shit. That's brand new. I'd never seen that. Maybe because it was in high def this time. I don't know. I'm giving this film, and we could discuss it. I'm giving this film a full-on 5 stars, but the 5 is the alert triangles in the maze.
Okay. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Carly?
Yes. I'm going to give it
12 stars.
It is a 5-star film. It just is a 5-star film, and it's 5 bourbon on the rocks.
Yeah.
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah, because wasn't he a really bad alcoholic in the beginning? Like, didn't he abuse Danny?
Yeah, I mean, well, for some reason, I don't remember it being a dislocation. I really thought he broke Danny's arm in the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of the same premise. He was drunk and like pulled on him and did some damage. So yeah, he was a consummate alcoholic. He was a dry drunk, I can assume, between the last time he drunk and when he got to the Overlook. So, but that being said, Brooke.
Okay. I have so many. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a 5-star.
Ooh.
But I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Okay, when she hits him in the head with the bat and he falls down the steps. So that was funny.
Just so you're giving it 5 bats to the head.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also going to go with 5 tangs. Like, this is the first time I saw that there was Tang on the shelf in the dry goods storage. I'm like, oh my God, there's Tang. And it was right next to the Kool-Aid packets. And I'm like, so I was actually taking in all the stuff that was on the shelves this time around. That's cracking me up just because I've seen it. I know it. So I can focus on all the stuff that the set designers have to put into play to make a film like this happen. So sometimes we get so lost in like the acting, we don't actually look at the set dressing anymore. I mean, the color palette in this film was insane. And after we get off on this, I'm going to look at what the significance was for red, because Wendy wore a crap ton of red in the first half of the film. Yes. And then Danny was wearing a whole bunch of red at the end of the film. And then that bathroom between when Jack and Grady are in the bathroom, it's white and a shit ton of red in that bathroom. Yes. So I'm just curious, like if there was kind of like with the Sixth Sense, where there was a color and it had meaning to it. I wonder if Kubrick did the same. It is the first time I really like looked at stuff like that, like the color palettes, other than like, oh, this is very 1970s, 80s palette. But there's going to be a lot more significance in at least what they're wearing and what they're doing. So I loved it.
How come Grady didn't know? Like, how come he didn't remember that he killed his 2 kids and his wife?
Well, the question is, did he?
Because he looked at him like, I don't remember that.
Well, like first I thought, well, maybe it was because he blew his head off with a shotgun and those memories went away. But then when he's talking about how Jack needs to correct his children and correct his wife, and maybe harsher than, he doesn't get the heart for it or the stomach for it. So I think he knew all along, but he was trying to play it off as like, no, Jack, you've always been the caretaker. I'm just, a silly waiter with my, what was it? Avocat or whatever.
I don't know.
I had to stop the film. I'm like, what did you just say? Avocat? What the hell is that? And then I get told it's a Dutch liqueur. I'm like, all right, girl, you go. You know your shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was so engrossed in the film that I really wasn't paying attention to the subtitles, and I normally need them to be able to understand the film.
Okay.
Me too.
So this, you didn't need it this reason for this one. Why?
I was so engrossed in it that, little sounds and anything going on behind me was not
distracting.
Distracting. Oh. I mean, I had it on my laptop and I was just engrossed in it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and that's why I cannot not give it a 5.
Yeah.
No matter how much I like, it's not like the book, it's not like the miniseries, because as a standalone film, not knowing anything about it, like just walking into blind like you did with no kind of reference points, it's Kubrick is a master director. He's amazing. He's put out amazing work. So to lessen the film because it's not like something else, well, it wasn't meant to be something else. It was meant to be what it was. Yeah. So I loved it.
Yeah. The part that scared me the most is when he's walking up the steps and he's like, I'm just going to bash your brains in.
Oh my God. Yes. I'm not going to hurt you, Wendy. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. Fantastic. I mean, trust me, Nicholson did an impeccable job. Other than being crazy looking at the beginning, his descent into madness was spectacular.
It was good.
Yes.
So, but that, unfortunately, we have to bid adieu to this film. And we need to know what the next film we're going to tackle is. So, who is next? I think I believe it's you. According to my list.
Yay. Okay, we are going to watch Paranormal Activity. And it is on Max.
It's on Max. Oh. Oh, that film like rejuvenated the found film genre in such a way.
Okay.
I mean, you got people who love Blair Witch and hate Blair Witch.
I hated Blair Witch, but I went to
exactly, and I love Blair Witch. So, but the idea that like found footage was like this super crazy thing with Blair Witch, and people were like going nuts. Paranormal really brought that subgenre back around in such a way, and again, low budget. Really wasn't meant to be something big. People were just like, well, this is the way we can do it because the budget is only going to allow us to shoot it this way. And I think, just a really, I mean, how many sequels, Brooke, has this film had?
A lot.
Yeah. So obviously it's good enough.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any of it. I haven't read up on it. I just know the name of the movie, and I'm like, I think we should watch that.
I like the Mark ones.
I didn't see. I think this one I didn't see. But Carly, to Brooke's point of knowledge about this film universe, they're all interconnected. Some are directly connected. Some are like prequely in their connection. And like if you were to watch a whole series, like I love Saw because it's all interconnected. This universe for Paranormal Activity is also the same, all interconnected in some way, shape, or form. So, and that I love. Well, what time is it? It's almost time. I can't believe that this time around went so fast.
I know it did.
It did. I'm looking at the time going, damn, we just like, we've been breakneck nonstop. So, Brooke, before we head out, give us some final yums about the film.
Final yum. I don't know. Definitely check it out. It's been around since the 80s, so I mean,
since 1980.
1980.
Yeah. Same year that High Infidelity by REO Speedwagon came out, and it took me until well into my 40s to to click that most of the songs were about infidelity.
Wow, that's funny. A little nugget. And I also say that upon looking at The Shining again, it doesn't look like it was from 1980 because of the color palette, because of the Navajo and Apache motif influences, and the age of the hotel makes it seem even older than that.
It does.
Like even kind of dates it period wise, even in 1980.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody, I think it was you that said it was 1980. I was like, what? Really?
Yeah. Been out since the 80s.
Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while. But it's a good film. I'm so glad, Brooke, you chose it.
Thank you, Brooke.
I'm so glad you liked it, Carly. And I'm happy. I was just so happy to see it again because I saw all sorts of nuggets of things that I didn't notice before.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, ladies, thank you so much. Big love for all y'all.
I'm about to go watch Dr. Sleep now. Thanks.
All right, let's go do that. Let's all go watch Dr. Sleep before we sleep. With that, Brooke, thank you so much. See you. Love you. See you next week.
Bye.
And Carly, mwah to you. See you next week. And to our awesome listeners, thank you so much for joining us again for another Sunday. And always remember, we are here to scare you later. Bye-bye.